in Z. You've got a friend in Z. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Y'all, you got a friend in Z.
Welcome back to another episode of You Got a Friend in Z, a talk show that I designed and created to come on here to talk about the true meaning of friendship. How's everybody doing? Happy new month, new chapter, and new season. I hope you guys are excited for the new things that are coming and has in store for all of us. So for this episode, it's going to be a little heavy. And disclaimer again, if you never watched this movie that I'm going to name, please go back and watch it, okay? Because it's actually really good. And you need a box of tissues for this episode. You're going to need it. So the movie I'm going to talk about is Bridge to Terabithia. Yeah, I said that right. And I'm going to tie this movie into the story in the Bible of Jonathan and David's friendship, because they both have a similar ending of the story, and they fought through the ending very well, even though it did kill them. So get ready, guys. Here we go. So the beginning of the movie of Bridge to Terabithia, there's a boy with a family. He has two other siblings, and he has father issues. His father's always spoke down to him, like very, very down to him. That made him feel very insecure. And at his school, he didn't have much friends. He didn't feel seen or heard, and he was bullied as well. Then this new girl comes along, and she's all like hype. He's like, "Hey, how are you?" And the new girl was trying to be friends with him. She was trying to find a friend, but she thought maybe he could be a good friend. And he was like, okay. And when you're kids, you have this imagination, you find this world within yourself, you just have so much fun. You have so much freedom, And that's what she was giving him. She was giving this world of Terabithia. Like, even though the world that you're in right now is not as great and you don't feel like seen or heard, she had this other world where she was seen, she was heard, in her world, she was worthy in her world, so she was inviting him in that too. He was kind of like, She's like, no, come on. Now, as they get home, she gets off the same bus stop, and he was like, excuse me, this is not you. You ain't coming home with me. And she was like, I live right there. I'm the new neighbor. And he's like, oh, okay. So she wanted to show him something where she found, like, in the forest, in the woods, but she wanted to show him Tabithia. And so as they're going through the journey, and as she's showing him the new world that she has created, he starts to believe. And one of the lines that I remember, she was saying, close your eyes and have an open mind, and he did that. Because at first he wasn't believing. Then when he closed his eyes and had an open mind, and then he opened it again, he believed in it, And sometimes that's all it takes, is just to have an open mind and believe and have faith in what you created or want in your life, or need, what you need. So they were going through that, and they're building a friendship, and they're building a bond. They eventually met each other's families, and they started sharing some things that happened with the family. Like, there was a moment where the boy was helping the dad with the garden and stuff like that, and the garden area got crashed. Like, an animal came in and started eating the fruits and stuff like that, and he was trying to talk to dad. I'm like, hey, we'll try to get something that prevents the animal, or he didn't want to capture the animal and kill it. He wanted to catch the animal and let it go and just, hey, bye-bye. But the dad was like, no, we got to get rid of it. So eventually they got the animal, and early in the morning, the boy gets the animal, tells the animal, hey, don't come back, okay? Go. and tells dad what happened, because dad was in the garden, because it kind of happened again. And he was like, what's going on, man? What's going on? And just getting at him. And he's like, I let it go. Like, he's not going to come back. And dad just let off. And the boy was just feeling discouraged and insecure because he thought he did something good. And dad was all like bringing him down. So he told the girl about that, what's going on. And the girl was like, oh, well, in Terabithia, we think you're a king. We think you're worthy there. You know what I mean? Um, don't think you're lower than what you are. You're a king, you know? And just trying to help him out, you know, as a friend and be there for him. So I want to tie that into the story of Jonathan and David. So David fights the Goliath, and he won the big giant. He won that big, fought him down. And David and Jonathan made a covenant with their friendship after that. They made a truth. And I think it's powerful because, you know, friendship is a covenant too. And we think only marriage is a covenant. Oh, little do you know, friendship is a covenant too. And they became so tight. They hang out, they did things, and but there came a time where Saul, which is Jonathan's father, wanted David dead, and Jonathan was trying to do everything in his power to make sure that didn't happen. But Saul was like, send the men, find him, and we need him out. And so Jonathan was letting David know, hey, this is what's going on. You know, my dad's very upset because, you know, you're about to get the throne, and he thinks you're taking the throne, but it's not like that. You know what I mean? But, you know, he wants to be on top of the world and da 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 da. So that's the beginning of it right there. And they're, you know, finding a way out of this. So back to the bridge to Terabithia. So both of them, in both stories, the friendships are going well, and there's a plot twist in Jonathan and David, and now I'm going to introduce the plot twist in Bridge to Terabithia. So in Bridge to Terabithia, they end up making a tree house. They're building a tree house, and which is the like city, not city, I'm sorry, the castle, you know, because he now feels like he's a king, you know what I mean? She's the queen, and they're running the thing, you know, boom, 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 you know, they're having their imaginations and having fun as kids should. And he's living the best time, and they're having the best time together and building, and they're going back and forth. After school, they go back and find new things, do different things. Now, one time it was his birthday, and the girl was very good at getting gifts, because I love getting gifts. It's my last love language, but if you can give gift with out of love and understanding of love, yeah. So she gave the boy, a painting kit. You know, it has the paintbrush, the different color paints and all that stuff, because he loved art. He loved to draw. So when she gave him that, she was like, hey, I heard it was your birthday yesterday. Here's a gift. He was like, oh my God. I was like, yes, see, that's a friend right there. When they know you, okay? So, yeah, and I thought that was beautiful. So what he did end up he gave her a dog to the family, and that was beautiful. So that's another way of them, another beautiful moment I just want to share real quick. So now to the Pilates. Sorry, I just had to break that down real quick. The teacher that they have calls and was like, hey, there's an art museum, and I was gonna take my nephews, but they can't go. But do you want to go? Because I know you're interested in art. And he was like, yeah. So he asked mom. Mom was like, yeah, that's fine. Well, she was sleeping. She wasn't like 100% awake. So she's like, yeah. And so he's like, okay, cool. So he gets dressed and he goes. And as they're driving out the driveway, he looks at his friend's neighbor. By the way, the boy is named Jesse, and the girl, oof, It's gonna come back to me. I just lost train of thought, but it'll come back to me. So the boy doesn't. His name is Jesse. He looks at the neighbor and thinks about her, his friend. It's like, should I ask for her to come or not? I don't know, cause it's not. She invited me. I don't want to. And the teacher's like, do you want? Is there something you're missing? Do you want to go back? Did you forget something? And then he's like, no, it's okay. So he drives off and goes to the art museum, having a blast, having a great time. Like I said, it's gonna get emotional. So the girl comes out the house and goes to the tree house, the castle that they made. And the way they get there, there's like a waterfall, and they have a rope. So they go through this rope all the time, like it's nothing. But this time, she takes the rope, she swings on the rope, and the rope snaps. She falls, and she dies. Now, the boy doesn't know this at all. So he comes back from the field trip, and he's like, hey guys, I'm back, or whatever. And it's angular too, yeah. The mom is like, oh my God, I'm so worried. Where were you? What? And they're all sitting there like panicking. And the sister's like, see, I told you so. He's fine. And he's like, what are you talking about? I asked you. Like, what? I told you I was going on a field trip. This morning I asked you. And Dad was like, so you don't know what's going on? And they're like, he's like, what's going on, guys? Tell me what's going on. And they broke the news to him. And he was like, huh? You're lying. No. You're lying to me. And the dad's like, look, listen, man, I'm really sorry. And he runs off. He storms out to the castle. He storms out to the castle and that they made. And he's destroying things, because he's so hurt. He's so frustrated because he's like, this cannot be happening. My friend, my only friend that I got is gone. And she helped me to believe in this make-believe world that we created. Even though in their eyes, in kids' eyes, that is real. You know what I mean? And I'm not against it, But gone. So I want to go pivot to the other story, Jonathan and David. So as Jonathan is trying to find an escape plan, he's telling him to go far away into the another area, into bushes, hide in there. They won't find you. And they did everything they possibly can. But David one day told him that, hey, this is what has to be done. I can't keep running. You know what I mean? This is getting tiring. And I love you so much. I really do. But this is it. And he ends up dying. And I can't imagine, losing a friend. I lost a friend. So this is why I get so emotional, because losing a friend is... I don't even know how to explain it, And not even that, losing the best friend, that's a whole nother level. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother level that I remember, just a sidebar with my situation. When I lost my friend, it was on his birthday. And in the morning, I got to say happy birthday, and he saw it. And I was like, thank goodness, he saw that. And, it happened in the morning, but I didn't know because I was going about my day. I had a photo shoot to go to and stuff like that. And then I had an event at my family's house. At my house, it was a family event. So I was doing both of them. It was a busy day. So I was helping out at the house, and then I had to go do a photo shoot. So when I went to the photo shoot, the person I was doing it for knew the friend too, and she was standing strong at the moment, but she didn't realize that it didn't click in for me. I didn't see the text messages. It just didn't click in. And towards the end of the photo shoot, she pulled me aside and she was like, "Did you hear what happened?" And I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" And she brought the news. She was like, "He's gone." And I was like, "No." I even couldn't. Oof. Mm. I even couldn't believe that in that day. I was still in this. I was in disbelief, and she was like, "Go home, go to your family. You did enough here. Thank you." And I'm driving, hysterically crying and screaming. And as I got home, my family was there. Like I said, I had a family affection. I just hold them. I hold them tight and just started boohoo crying. Sorry, I know this is deep. So, yeah, let's get back to the movie because there's a positive side in this movie. um, so as the boy is going through his frustration, um, the parents decided just them and the boy to go to the awakening and say they pay the respects. The boy was kind of like, okay, and he said, "All right, let's go." And he went, and the father said, "Oh, such a touching line that basically she was so happy that she finally had a friend, and it was the boy Jesse." And the boy was like, mm, lost the words, you know. And he saw his teacher there and was like, "Hey, you should have invited her too." And sorry, that was the chair. That was the chair. And the teacher was kind of like dumbfounded. She didn't know what to say, but she knew that he was just hurting. But she was hurting too, But she knew he was hurting even more because that was his friend. That was his best friend. And um, so he was going through all of this. And when he went back to the castle again, he his sister was worried about him, so she chased him afterwards. And she was like, "Hey, brother, brother," and he was like, "What are you doing here? Like, you shouldn't be here. This is our spot. This is our thing." And he ended up pushing his sister, and sister went off. And then he goes back to the castle that they made, and the little girl runs to dad, and she's crying, and she's like, "This is what's happening." Da, da, da. And dad immediately know what he needed to do. He's like, "You know what? I got to put my foot down and be a father." So he runs into the forest looking for him, and the boy thought it was the evil spirit, knowing little did he know it was his dad. And I love this scene because it's so powerful. His dad grabs him, and he finally bursts out all of the anger, all the frustration that's in his head. He just lets it out, and he's like, "It was my fault. If I didn't just invite her, she wouldn't have the rope down broke and she wouldn't fall in the river. It was me. I should have just invited her." And I had to stop to check the camera to make sure. But and dad was just holding him, and he's giving him a kiss on his forehead, and he's like, "It was not your fault. It was not your fault. It was okay. It's not you. It was not you." Oh, the scene was so powerful. Like, if you just seen like dad just holding him, like, "This is my baby. It's okay. I got you. I got you." And he's just there like crying, like finally letting it out. You know what I mean? Because you just need that moment. Because he was just fighting it. He was trying to fight everything. All of this, the anger, the frustration, and then finally he bursts out. Oh gosh. So yeah, he then after he finally lets it out, he goes to his sister and apologizes and tells her, you know what, I'm sorry and I miss you. And she was kind of like giving him a cold shoulder because she's like, I don't know why you pushed me like that. I was trying to be there for you and you just pushed me up to the side. So he goes back to the bridge of Terabithia and the tree just falls. Instead of the rope, it's just a tree. And so he's like, let me see if I can use some wood, build something for my sister and invite her in and have her as a princess. So as the parents of the daughter that passed away was leaving, he was like, hey, can I use your wood? And he's like, yeah, go ahead, do what you got to do. Whatever's left there, take it. So he builds it, and then he calls his sister, and he's like, hey, do you want to come with me? Only princesses go there. And she was like, huh? So he got in there, and, he's like, the Terabithia is waiting for the new princess to come along, and it's you. And he welcomes her and says the exact same line: close your eyes and have an open mind. And she did, and she saw the beautiful thing. And he's like, Carl, whatever you want, just like God says, whatever you want, speak it into existence, because it's yours. And that's what she did. She said, I want a big castle. I want purple flowers coming in. And that's what was going on. It was coming in, because whatever you believe, it shall come forward, And so flip it into the other story of Jonathan and David. After the death of David, Jonathan took care of David's family like it was his own, you know what I mean? And was there for them as they grieved the loss of their father, and just being there supportive, because that, again, the covenant was still there, that love was still there. And so his family was David's family was his family, and Jonathan's family was David's family, even though they had some issues with Jonathan's family. David still loved his family regardless, because he loved Jonathan. That was his brother, that was his best friend. And so I just love how that story displays the true meaning of friendship. It was such loyalty, it was such authenticity, honesty, and never letting that other person down. And same with the movie, never letting that person down. You know what I mean? Even when they feel down, reminding them that they are worthy. Like when the girl said, "Don't tell the Terabithias, because you're a king. They look for you. You're worthy." So it's important to have those friends, and when you have those friends, cherish them. Really cherish them, be with them, and love on them, because they're very rare at this day and age. They're rare to find. Those gems are rare to find, but when you have them, hold on. So, uh, that is it. that is all I have to talk about today. I can't believe this was one of the most emotional episode I ever done, but I really hope it touched somebody's life and spoken to somebody's life. And remember that you are loved, you are enough, and you are worthy. Don't forget that. And remember, when you have a real true friend, hold on to them, love them like you never had before, because tomorrow is never promised. Okay? So spend time with them. Tell them how much you love them. Even though it gets on their nerves. I know you do. Tell them. Because again, you never know what happens tomorrow, or in a matter of seconds. Sometimes things happen just like that. So that is the episode for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be ready for next month episode. I love you guys. Take care.